Hi everyone, PokeRogue has started adding updates, more infrequently. The game used to update pretty much daily with something or other, but now they've been like hoarding all these updates and just dropping them all at once, which I like better because it means I can, bring the information to you guys just in one video instead of constantly having to make like YouTube shorts correcting myself or updating the information, whatever it may be. So a lot has changed in the game. I'm going to go over all the changes, and then we're going to talk about all the passive changes, which is why I assume most of you are here. So if you wanted to just see the passive changes, I'll have a timestamp for it. But as for what's actually changed in the game, I'm going to be reading from PokeRogue News. I like how they format their tweets and their images and stuff. It's just easy to digest. So definitely give PokeRogue News a follow. Shout out to them for this. New rare and epic shiny variants have been added for multiple Pokemon. The rare and epic shiny variants are always beautiful. I don't personally seek out looking at them because there's so many of them, and I'm just like, I'm not going to be able to see them all because there's so many Pokemon with like 2 extra shinies now. It's incredible work, honestly. But now you've got more of a chance to get rare or an epic shiny for more Pokemon. Always a good thing. I forgot to mention this in the video, but there is a shiny event going on right now which works for both classic and endless mode. In classic mode, however, they're doing something new. After you defeat the rival for the first time and the second time, they will give you a shiny charm. So you get free 2 shiny charms as well as the shiny odds being boosted. The event goes on until I think like the 22nd of August at 1 a.m. for me. So that'll be like 8 p.m. on the 21st of August for Americans, EST that is, of course. So yeah, shiny event going on right now. Get your shiny Pokemon. Admins have been added, which I didn't even think about, but yeah, admins, you can now battle them in floor 66 and floor 114. Exciting. I like some of the admins more than the actual evil team bosses, so always happy to see that. Biomes and endless rotate every 5 floors. Don't really care about that. Eternatus now tracks how many classic runs you've done. I feel like that's going to be like part of his dialogue now. Manaphy has I think that's a higher chance. I think Manaphy used to be 1 in 16. I could be wrong about that though. But yeah, it's 1 in 8 chance of hatching from Manaphy egg. Tandemaus, 25% chance of evolving into a 3-house family. Eternatus' passive has been disabled during the boss fight. I didn't even know it was enabled, honestly. Beak Blast has been re-implemented and is now fixed. Yeah, Beak Blast had a crazy glitch. Forces of Nature signature moves no longer lose accuracy in the sun and in the sand. I don't know if those moves were meant to. I don't know if that's like a PokeRogue a certified PokeRogue classic where like they're like, oh, you know what, these moves shouldn't lose accuracy. We disagree with Game Freak, or if this is actually how the moves are meant to function. But there you go. Bunch of moves have been implemented, which is always a good thing. Gulp Missile, actually no, the moves and abilities. Gulp Missile's been implemented. Let's go. Mycelium Mite's been implemented. No. Sketch can no longer copy certain moves. U-turn had a glitch with the Regenerator and Static, with it triggering twice. No longer does that. Thunder and Hurricane no longer lose accuracy in the sand. I don't know. I feel like moves like this I always forget. I feel like they used to, but I'm not sure. The tricky thing about PokeRogue, I've got like mixed feelings. A part of me wants it to be like unauthentic, like yeah, just use main series stuff, just keep it main series, don't change anything from the main series and how the mechanics work, but make Pokemon stronger by giving them custom egg moves and custom passives. But also in the same breath, it's a roguelike, so the gameplay is different, and I think if Pokemon themselves were to tackle a Pokemon roguelike, I think they would probably change how certain moves and abilities worked to fit the roguelike gameplay style. Like for example, Honey Gather and PokeRogue has been changed to make money rather than gather honey. For the gameplay, it makes sense that Honey Gather was changed. I think I would rather them balance the game around being a roguelike than keeping it main series. I just don't want them to go too radical red with it. Like, let's allow for some RNG, let's allow for some fun, let's not make every move 100% accurate and yada yada. RNG sucks, but as long as it isn't bullshit, like I think there was a biome that had like fog and it was like 70% accuracy at first, and it got up to like 90 now instead, which is a lot more manageable. Anyways, disguise now works how like Ice Face works. This originally kind of threw me through a loop and upset me because I'm like, why are we changing disguise to be like Ice Face? Like why like disguise, like, but I think disguise was bugged or something like that, where I think if you just swapped Mimikyu out and swapped it back in, I don't remember exactly. I think it's just basically disguise is fixed. I don't think it takes special hits. I don't think it takes damage from special hits like how Ice Face does, because Ice Face is different than disguise. Ice Face, you can take a physical hit and then it will change your form. Disguise, you can take physical or special hits, but after your disguise breaks, you take a little bit of damage. Whereas Ice Face, you don't take any damage from physical moves. They do work differently, and I don't think they're identical now. Like this suggest. I think they just fixed it to be like, I don't fully know. Either way, flash fire boost can no longer be baton pass. I don't know if that's a main series thing that can be done. I would imagine not. That's good, I guess. Heat proof now reduces burn damage in half. I'm not sure if that works. That's how it works in the main series. There's so much to Pokemon. Like, there's so many like niche little things. I have no idea. Toxic Chain and Sandspit now only work with damaging moves. I think that's how it works in the main game, so I think that's fine. Ability Charm is no longer offered in the reward screen after wave 189. Thank you. You can now unlock the Eviolite in the reward section by completing an achievement. What does that mean? The reward section? Mini Black Hole can now be transferred again. Okay. Enemy trainers can no longer use the scope lens. White Herb has been removed from the game. I mean, I never picked it up anyway. 220 Pokemon have had their base cost reduced, and 29 Pokemon have had their cost raised. 45 Pokemon had their passives changed. Oh, it meant 220 Pokemon. So when I saw 220, I thought about a catch rate. I was like, catch rate? Happiness rate? No, 220 Pokemon have had their base cost reduced and 29 have had them raised. Okay, 45 Pokemon have had their passive changed, which is what we're going to get into. 184 Pokemon have had their egg moves changed. Enemy trainers can't use Reviver Seeds anymore. I think Reviver Seeds on enemies is fine. I think the enemy should be able to do stuff that we can do. If we can pick up Reviver Seeds, I think the enemy should be able to pick up Reviver Seeds. Like, have a limit on it, or make it like super rare. It's frustrating when an enemy has a Reviver Seed, but you can always see what the enemy has. A lot of the time I get bamboozled by Reviver Seed because I didn't look at what my enemies had, which most people aren't going to unless they're actively looking out for like a Lumberry so they can status the Pokemon. But I don't agree with this. I don't think that's a good change. Eternatus now learns Flamethrower instead of Dragon Dance and Endless. The Gacha hidden ability rate has been changed from 1 in 256 to 1 in 100. I still don't think that's low enough. I don't think that's low enough. I think it should be 1 in 128, maybe even lower. Hidden ability should not be this rare. In bot eggs, the shiny rate can be increased from 1 in 32 to 1 in 24, and ability rates from 1 in 16 to 1 in 8. Okay, so if you buy the egg, it's even better odds. Okay, egg cost, passive cost, and cost reduction have been made slightly cheaper for most Pokemon. Well, that's nice. So let's talk passives. We do a lot of talking about passives. I've given a lot of opinions about passives. So there's not many Pokemon changed, so it won't be super long to go through it. Pidgey has been changed. It used to be Gale Wings, it is now Flare Boost. I'm trying to think. I mean, Flare Boost is decent. It gives more use for Flame Orb and stuff, which, you know, that's fine. Flare Boost is basically, I think it makes your special attack higher if you're burned. It used to be like Drifloon's only ability. I don't really see like the logic in terms of like why Pidgey should have it, but I mean, I'm not against it. Yeah, powers up special attacks when burned. That's good. I think Pidgey is fine to have that. I've always advocated for like a mixture of like making sense for the Pokemon. I mean, Gale Wings, you can say makes sense. I don't remember what type of, I think it might be Gen 6 Gale Wings. I mean, it's a nerf ultimately, but I mean, you can Mega Evolve Pidgey. I don't know, this is a weird one. You can definitely have Pidgeot be doing more damage with no guard Hurricanes. It can be a buff and a nerf. It's fine. I'm fine with this. Vulpix has went from having solar power to having fur coat now. Honestly, I'm fine with that. Solar power mixed with built-in drought is just, you know, Ooga Booga, you know, brain, like, oh, no brainer, you know, give the Droughtmon solar power. But Fur Coat is a little bit more interesting. Ninetales actually has pretty decent special defense, so kind of giving a little bit more physical defense. I'm fine with, I like bulky play. I think that's fun. Farfetch just went from having huge power to sniper. Wait, that's actually decent because I'm pretty sure with the stick item, which I think is in the game, if you give it the stick, it boosts its crit rate, right? And I'm pretty sure sniper just makes it so crits do more damage. Let me just double check that. Yeah, crits now do 2.25 times the normal damage instead of 1.5 times. I mean, ultimately it's a bit of a nerf for Farfetch'd, but I think Sniper on like Surfetch, I mean, I think actually, no, it might just be regular old Farfetch'd. I'm pretty sure, yeah, there's Galarian Farfetch'd, my bad. Either way, yeah, I think it's a bit of a nerf, but it's fine. Farfetch'd fans will live. And then we have Drowsy, instead of having Bad Dreams, now has Magician. I think I like Bad Dreams a bit more. Magician might be more useful, but Bad Dreams just fits the Pokemon better, I think. Like, Bad Dreams is literally perfect on Drowsy, even if people don't use like Hypnosis much. Or we give it like another move it can use or something. I don't know, man. Voltorb now has Transistor instead of Electric Surge. It's kind of like a mini Regieleki now, I guess. I think that's fine. I think Voltorb has a similar issue to Regieleki, where a lot of the moves it learns are just electric moves, so I think just powering those up I think is fine. I mean, Electric Surge kind of did the same thing, but maybe it was a bit overwhelming. I don't know. That's fine. Drizzle on Horsey is now Dragon's Maw. I'm honestly game. That's fine. I think Drizzle Horsey was a bit much. I think that was a bit overtuned. So changing it to Dragon's Maw, I agree with. make Kingdra's Dragon side a little bit stronger. Eevee now has Pickup instead of Simple. I think that's good. That's fine. Pickup is a useful ability, and having it on any evolution, I don't think anyone's going to complain about that. Kabuto went from having Sharpness to having Tough Claws. I think I like Sharpness more, just because he's literally got like scythes. He doesn't really have claws. I know Tough Claws probably just has more use cases though, but I definitely prefer Sharpness here. Gen 2, there's only one Pokemon. Ho-Oh went from having Magic Guard to having Drought. I do prefer Magic Guard here. I think it makes more sense on Ho-Oh. I think I'm just tired of like weather, honestly, as a mechanic. I think it's better if it's like given to as few Pokemon as possible, but that's just my own personal bias. I like Magic Guard though, for them Brave Birds. Didn't make sense on Talonflame. Ho-Oh, it made sense. He's literally like a mythical like bird. Like he's whatever. Gen 3. We have Fur Coat Numel instead of Stamina. I think I prefer Stamina. I mean, I feel like Numel could use Stamina. I know Fur Coat's more immediate value, but maybe that's the thinking. Maybe we just want more immediate value than, because he's just gonna get one shot if he just has Stamina. I don't know, but just play it better, I guess. Old passive of Intimidate into Multiscale now on Seviper. That's fine with me. Intimidate's good. Multiscale will give Seviper a chance to do something. You take a hit better. Do something. Doesn't matter if it's physical or special now, it can take a hit better and do something, get something set up. Relicanth went from Solid Rock to Primordial Sea. I mean, I can see what they're going for, but I mean, sure. Solid Rock, it gets rid of just the nonsense of like a little bit less weakness. I mean, I'm surprised they didn't give it Sap Sipper, dude. I'm kidding, obviously, jokes. Primordial Sea, I see where they're going. It's like Relicanth's Pokedex entry is pretty funny because it like views itself as like, it's just a really old Pokemon. So having Primordial Sea kind of makes sense. But I also feel like it's Relicanth. Big On went from having adaptability to Dragon's Maw. I mean, I think adaptability on Salamence is kind of crazy. Dragon's Maw, I think, is also kind of crazy. I don't really have much comment. I think Dragon's Maw on Salamence is kind of crazy. Latias went from having Soul Heart to having Prism Armor now. Soul Heart is Magearna's ability, where if a Pokemon dies, even if you're not the one to kill it, if a Pokemon dies in your vicinity, you get a special attack boost. It's insane, which made Mega Latias very strong. So they give it Prism Armor now, which is definitely a nerf. Prism Armor, I believe, is basically just Solid Rock, but like Prism Armor, yeah, super effective moves do 3 times, 4 times super effective moves to do 3 times now, which Latias doesn't have any 4 times weaknesses. And double weaknesses, like, knockoff is going to be doing 1.5 damage to Latias instead of 2 times damage. It just basically allows it to take hits better. I think it's fitting. I think it's fine. I think Soul Heart was probably a bit overtuned. Kyogre went from having Rain Dish to Mold Breaker. That's kind of nuts because water absorb Pokemon can't just sit in front of Kyogre anymore. Yikes. That's really strong. I don't know if I like that. A Rain Dish is like kind of ass, but I mean, it's just, it comes in and it gets to heal itself. It's not bad. Mold Breaker, it's a bit strong, I think. Gen 4, Piplup now has Drizzle. Woohoo! I mean, Lightning Rod, people complained about it a lot, which I get. I'm pretty sure I was doing like a mono electric run and I forgot that it had Lightning Rod, and it's kind of annoying, but like, Lightning Rod, Drizzle, I think there's just something else we could do here. I feel like there's something else we could do here besides just these two, but whatever. Cherubi, Drought, or Orichalcum Pulse instead. I mean, you got to give it something, man. You got to, I mean, I don't know if Orichalcum Pulse is it. Probably should have just kept it as Drought. Boosts attack while active. That's, I mean, sure, whatever. It needs everything it can get. Munchlax now has Harvest instead of Ripen. Fine, sure. That's fun. I like Harvest. Harvest is good fun. I like berries in PokeRogue, so it's good fun. Finneon now has Water Bubble instead of Drizzle. Fine by me. Water Bubble is very strong. Finneon's a pure water type. I think you should lean into the fact that it's a water type. Finneon probably really good now. I think it gets Quiver Dance as an egg move. I don't know if it does in this game, but I know it learns Quiver Dance in the main games. Water Bubble Quiver Dance Mon. That is strong. Manaphy went from having Simple to Primordial Sea. Again, I'm just weather abilities, man. Weather abilities. I don't really agree with Simple. I don't really agree with Primordial Sea. I would have to sit and think about it for a bit longer, and I'm just reviewing these as I go. Dwebble now has Rocky Payload instead of Anger Shell. I think that's fine. I think it was maybe biting on Cloth's flow a bit too much. I like Rocky Payload as an ability a lot. Boost his rock type moves a little bit more. Rock type moves have dog shit accuracy, so let's when they do land, let's make them a bit stronger. I think that's fine. Scraggy? No, Scraggy, no change. Okay, Scraggy still has protein, I guess. Don't really like that. Sigilyph now has Magician. Nope, it has Flare Boost instead of Magician. Similar situation to Pidgeot. The thing about Sigilif though, Sigilif actually doesn't mind being burned because Sigilif has magic guard, which basically means unless the move is a damaging move, it's not going to get hurt. Leech Seed doesn't hurt it, Toxic doesn't hurt it, Burn doesn't hurt it. So Flare Boost on Sigilif makes a lot of sense. It's very fitting, I think, in terms of like mechanic. I do like Magician a lot, so kind of sad to see that go, but Flare Boost works and makes sense too. Tortuga now has Water Absorb instead of Anger Shell. I think this is fine. Like I said, I think Anger Shell on like other, I mean, what other type of mono are you going to give it to, I guess? But it's already a Shell Smasher. Same with Dwebble. I don't know. I feel like it's just biting a bit of cloth too much. So the Water Absorb change is fine. Clink, Steelworker has been changed to Steely Spirit. I think Steely Spirit just maybe does more damage. I'm not actually sure. Steelworker boosts Steel type moves by 50%. Steely Spirit powers up Steel type moves. Okay. I think it stacks. So I think maybe having 2 Steely Spirit Mons stacks, or maybe it powers up ally Steel type moves too. So it will be for some reason. I think Steely Spirit overall is I think it's better overall. So it's probably just to give it a little bit something extra. Maybe it can boost its Steel type friends, you know. Maybe I can bring Clink to my mono Steel type run that I'm going to be streaming later today. Wink. And it will help boost my other Steel types. I don't know. They have to be in battle, of course. Gale Wings has been changed to Speed Boost on Rufflet. I don't really see Speed Boost. I mean, kind of maybe. I think Braviary could use it because Braviary's kind of slow. I think that's fine. Not opposed to that. Gen 6. Skiddo has now got Seed Sower instead of Grassy Surge. So Skiddo has to take a hit to put down the grassy terrain instead of just putting it down as it comes out. Okay, maybe it was just a bit too strong with Grassy Surge. Yeah, maybe they just wanted to take it down and not. Misty Surge has been changed with Fur Coat on Spritzy. I don't know how I feel about this. I've not really used Spritzy, but I feel like Misty Surge is okay. Fur Coat makes it a little bit more selfish, which I feel like Spritzy, and I guess it gives Spritzy maybe some more opportunity to set up. I would have to look at what its egg moves are. But yeah, Phantom now has Shadow Tag instead of Ripen. That's fun. I think I like Ripen more because it goes well with Harvest, but maybe it was too strong. Maybe they just thought it was a bit too on the nose because, you know, Ripen and Harvest mix. Shadow Tog works fine too. Xerneas now has Harvest instead of Misty Surge. I think that's good. Xerneas is strong no matter what. So anything else it can get is a buff. And I think in some ways it could be better than Misty Surge, and in some other ways maybe not. Just depends on what berries you have on it, I guess. Gen 7, we have Rowlet getting Sniper instead of Unburden. This makes sense. It's an archer bird. Oh, I just realized Poplio now costs 4. I don't know if I like that. I feel like all the starters should have the same cost. Hold on, did they make... Oh wow, all the Gen 9 starters now cost 4 too. Wow, I don't know if I like that. Grubbin now costs 3 instead of 2. I literally just beat on a mono electric run with a Grubbin at the cost of 2. I've just realized they're doing cost changes too. Jangmo went from having PokeRogue to having Dauntless Shield. What the fuck? I think PokeRogue fits it better. I don't understand Dauntless Shield. Innards out on God's Lord is now Poison Heal. That's fine. He eats a lot of stuff. There's probably a lot of not good stuff in there. I think he would definitely heal health upon being poisoned. Strongjaw to adaptability on Alolan Rattata. That's fine. Gen 8. Scorbunny is now a cost of 4. Damn, I don't know if Scorbunny deserves that. Ripen and Harvest is the change. Squirvet now has Harvest instead of Ripen. That's fine. Chewtle now has Rocky Payload instead of Rockhead. That's good. I'm tired of taking head smash damage and them having no repercussions. So Rocky Payload makes the Rockhead move stronger, but at least he's going to take damage for it. Old passive Snow Warning, new passive Transistor on Arctozol. That's fine. I think it just had built-in Slush Rush as well. So Transistor, that's fine. Snow Warning has been changed on Arctivish to be Strongjaw now. Also fine. Eternatus now has Neutralizing Gas instead of Supreme Overlord. Oh my god. I think that's fine. Neutralizing Gas is crazy. Zarude now has Tough Claws instead of Grassy Surge. Fine. It's a bit more selfish than team plays, but it seems like they're trying to get rid of a lot of terrains, I guess. Galarian Ponyta now has Moxie instead of Pixelate. I don't really think Moxie is super fitting, but whatever. It's also been reduced from cost 4 to cost 2. Hisuian Voltorb has got Transistor now as well instead of Electric Surge. That's fine. Quaxley now has Opportunist instead of Defiant. I feel like that's fitting. Yeah, that's fitting. Gimmighoul now has Honey Gather instead of Contrary. This is something I've been advocating for months now. I did not want Contrary Gimmighoul, and they reduced the cost of it from 5 to 4 as well to make up for that, I guess. Chiampao now has Snow Warning instead of Interpret Sword. I think having a Legendary having Snow Warning, that's not that bad. And then Chi-Yu actually lost Drought and now has Berserk. I think that's fitting for Chi-Yu. And that is the last of the changes in terms of passives. I actually kind of want to go look at the cost reductions now. So if we see here, this is Caterpie is now cost 2 instead of cost 1. Pidgey, Spearow, Pikachu have all been reduced in cost. Clefairy's been reduced in cost. Jigglypuff's been significantly reduced in cost. Zubat, Oddish, and Paris have all been increased. Paris getting an increase is insane. Diglett and Meowth have been reduced. Poliwag's been reduced. Abra's been increased. Bellsprout's been reduced. Slowpoke. I feel like, oh wait, no, that's Ponyta, not Slowpoke, my bad. I was gonna say, I feel like cost 2 Slowpoke is insane, but no. Magnemite's been increased. Farfetch'd has been decreased by 2, which is fitting. Doduo has been decreased by 1. Seal's been decreased by 2, that's fitting. Grimer's been decreased by 1. A lot of Gen 1 Pokemon have got decreases and increases. Shelter's been increased by 1. I think that's fair. Cloyster's insane. Gastly's also been increased by 1. Onyx and Drowsy's been decreased. Krabby's been increased. Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of these I generally agree with. Chansey been decreased by 2. Yeah, a lot of these Pokemon, because they had like pre-evolutions in the later game, they were like pretty expensive. Magikarp being increased makes sense. Let's mostly just look at the increases. Hoot's been increased. Interesting. Hoppip's been increased. Interesting. Azurill's been increased by 1. Oof. I mean, overall, Torchic's been increased. Wow, I feel like Mudkip's better than Torchic, but maybe I'm just insane. I don't like that starter Pokemon are getting increased. I feel like they should all be the same. And maybe at least until you win your first run. Maybe. Burmy got increased. No, my Burmy propagandas went too far. Sandile got increased. No. Timber got increased. No. I mean, it makes sense. They're very good Pokemon. Froakie. No. Bunnelby. Okay, that's fine. Scatterbug. Okay, he's a Quiver Dance Mon. Grubbin, no! Poplio, don't agree. Indeedee got increased, I think that makes sense. Hisui and Sneasel got increased to 5? Okay, I think that's a bit excessive. Scorbunny got increased. Like I said, I don't agree with the stars getting increased. Fluttermane got increased. No, Fluttermane. Yeah, crazy changes. Huge changes. There's also the egg moves. Which I'm not going to cover today. I probably won't cover them at all because egg moves are constantly changing, and I don't like to consider them too heavily because there's so many Pokemon that I just don't have like any decent egg moves on, but I still use to great success. Like, egg moves are great, they definitely can help, but people will be like, oh, this Pokemon's OP because of this egg move, and I'm like, I don't even have it, you know. And you could apply that same logic to other things, but I feel like egg moves, it's RNG if you get egg moves, whereas you can unlock passive abilities just by grinding. You can't guarantee that you will get an egg move unlocked. It's always RNG, whereas you can guarantee that you will get a passive unlocked, if that makes sense. So those are the changes for PokeRogue. Thanks for watching me, as always. I appreciate you guys. If you want to check these things out, everything's in the description. And let me know your thoughts on all the changes. Have a good day.